here's to the lad named Patrick, who did as he was told, and helped to build America like the patriots of old. With a long his start, winning the spirit he loved so, men who stood on their 2 feet and make their country go. His scepter in the land of all its soft, complacent ways, like Ireland's patron saint who threw out the snakes in early days. So let's salute old Patrick and those who wear the green, and the native lad who heard these words when he was 17.
Ready. Good afternoon and welcome to our 25th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade sponsored by the American Irish of Woodbridge. On my left is Jack Fay and Jim Dork, also known as Gene Kelly. He's going to do a few dances in the rain. And
later.
The reason why I'm holding this umbrella is to keep the sun off my back. Anyway, Jack, what do you think of this weather?
I think it's wonderful, typical Dublin weather, and we purposely had it brought in to see what the real Irish can do. Now, it's the 25th anniversary, and we're looking forward to the parade.
And Jim, any comments about your dancing?
Well, I don't know about my dancing, but just along with Jack Fay, if anybody's been back to the mother country, this is what we would call a soft rain. We're having a soft rain. It may be damp out, but it'll never dampen the spirits of the Irish. Welcome all of you, and enjoy the parade.
Okay, you're going back to the truck?
Yes, we're
okay.
going back to the warm.
All right, we don't know how many units are going to show, but I can assure you it'll be a great parade. I can hear some music in the background. And originally supposed to have 118 units, so maybe we'll have 116. And thanks again, and enjoy the parade. Back.
Welcome to the 25th Annual Woodbridge St. Patrick's Day Parade, sponsored by the American Association.
Well, Jack.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, Jack, we're the two fortunate ones, I guess, in that we're in the nice warm van, and Charlie Shaughnessy's out there going to do some interviews in the kind of Dublin typical Irish weather.
Irish Smith, yes. So it's a tribute to all involved that even with this rough weather, the parade goes on. I think
That's
only
right.
once it was called off the blizzard, and they had it the following week.
That's right, Jack. As always, our parade leads off with the Woodbridge Township Police Escort, and we certainly would like to thank them for all of their support, Jack.
Yes,
it would be
indeed.
a difficult thing to put on the street without them. And the Woodbridge, it's not in the view of the television screen right now, but also the Woodbridge Hazardous Materials Unit.
Yes, they're just going by. They just went by.
We do have in view, however, one of the 3 high schools from Woodbridge Township, Jack, and that would be the John F. Kennedy
Yes.
High School Marching Band, and they're preceded by the Air Force ROTC Detachment 490, their color guard, and that's who we have in our screen right now. That's who you're seeing.
Very, very well, very neat. Significant that Islin High School, JFK, and that was the name right after President Kennedy was killed.
That's right.
More than just a high school. They have a great spirit behind them.
And Jack, even with the weather, I see they have all the appropriate colors.
Yes,
How
they
can you
are.
beat Kelly green
Yes.
ponchos?
And they sound good, too.
And maybe we can listen into a little bit here.
There's the Grand Marshal.
There's our Grand Marshal of this year's parade, Buddy Costello, and the weather doesn't seem to be damping his spirits. We also saw Lynn Comurray. There's her husband, Frank. We'd like to extend our congratulations to both Buddy
Yes.
and to Lynn Kilmurray, two very
wonderful
active
choices.
members. There's our mayor. There's Bud Costello, our grand marshal for this year's parade. And a fine Irishman he is.
Yes. And here comes
Here's our mayor, Jim McGreevy.
Mark Lewis, the
There's the township council. There's our mayor, McGreevy, again. And he had hosted with the township council a beautiful ceremony at
Yes.
Town Hall this morning, Jack.
very moving, very well done.
Very well done.
There's, Mayor Conley of Fanwood, along with Council President Jim Carroll.
I see
President
Diane
Hunt.
McGovern,
Yeah.
co-chair of this year's parade.
Yes, Vinnie Martino.
And there's John Wisniewski.
Here comes the first Irish band.
This is the New York City Department of Corrections Emerald Pipe Band, Jack,
Yes,
under the leadership of Pipe Major Bob Hanley.
a former Grand Marshal. And they they march and they play each year and they bring honor to our own selves and to themselves. They're always fine sounding band.
And it certainly sounds as if the damp weather doesn't dampen those
Not at all. Not
pipes at all, Jack.
Rose to the occasion.
There's the... Let's listen into some of the peals of the pipes. This is the American Irish Association of Woodbridge, the Board of Officers and Directors. Here's Mike McGovern, Tom Henderson, Jim McNichol, as Joe Fennelly, who always portrays himself as St. Patrick. We have President George Aston, Vice President Mike McGovern. Our recording secretary is Jim McNichol, corresponding secretary Mary Alice Jacko, financial secretary Mark Lewis, who, by the way, is this year's parade chairman, treasurer forever,
Yes.
is Tom Henderson, and our sergeant in arms is John Keaveney. There's the beautiful American Irish Association
Yes.
banner, Jack.
They do so much for this town and most certainly keeping the Irish culture alive. We owe a great debt to them. Great debt.
And this is the 25th
Yes?
parade for the American Irish Association. And this starts way back early September, Jack.
Yes?
A lot of fundraising efforts
Yes.
on behalf of the parade committee.
Great
A lot of
amount
work
energy.
involved.
Great amount of energy. Here's Project Children. This is another particular wonderful group. They run fundraisers during the year to bring over children from Ireland, both from the north and the south, Catholic and Protestant, and they've done so much good through the years. And I think they're one of the factors in that sometimes you hope that peace is on the horizon in Ireland.
And apparently one of the Project Children chairman, Dennis Mulcahy, has earned many different awards, both in Europe and the United States, for the efforts of Project Children. We are particularly proud, the American Irish Association of Woodbridge, to have as one of our members Dorothy Ashton, who's extremely active
Yes,
with
she
Project
works.
Children.
Works all year long, all year round on this project.
There's George and Harriet Marion
Yes,
taking the prudent way and
wisdom,
taking a car ride.
discretion being the better part of valor there.
And the
Float.
first float that was put together by the American Irish Association of Woodbridge Township. And for those of you who extended all your efforts, particularly on this rainy day, the float looks just fine from where Jack Fay and I are sitting.
The morning started off at 9 o'clock in Town Hall with Mayor McCreevy and the Township Council. They had a wonderful program. One of the particular that the keynoter was Congressman Menendez, our congressman, who's been very active in the Irish problems. He's been over to Ireland a few times, and
Well, Jack, I see that in our picture right now is our Miss American Irish and her lady in waiting. The Miss American Irish this year is Ariel McCaffrey of Metuchen, and Mary Sabner of
Brave
Howell
girl they
Township is a
are.
lady in waiting.
Brave girl they are. Both.
They sure are. They may be in a car, but there's no shelter in that car.
No.
Ariel goes to Bishop R. High School in Edison. She's very active in school. She's a cheerleader there. And she's the daughter of Melody and Joseph McCaffrey, and the niece of George and Harriet Marion, who are very, very active club members. Mary Sabner, the lady in waiting, is vice president of her senior class at St. Rose High School in Belmar. And we welcome you. There's some of the brave.
Yes, they are. Here, the Legionnaires marching band from American Legion Post 263 in Carteret. They're perennials. They're outstanding year after year at this Legionnaire post.
And their members are veterans of World War II, Jack, Korea, Vietnam. They've been in existence since 1961, and you're right, they have been an active participant in our parade for many, many years, and we welcome you.
Yes.
And we appreciate your steadfastness through this weather.
Always so military, and they what's good about these bands, they also sound good. They don't really march, but here
Have a terrific sound.
we come with the
North Jersey chapter of the 82nd Airborne.
82nd Airborne Division. Long history of honor, valor through World War II,
World War I.
Korea, World War I. Yes.
They are followed by the T. Nolte American Legion post, number 471. That's right here from Island,
Yeah.
one of the sections of Woodbridge Township. A senior color guard unit. And they are followed by the Ladies Auxiliary.
You know, the parade is 25 years old, but the veterans go on. Even though our veterans are starting to age, but to look back on World War II up to the Gulf War, you know, it's at least a moment to think about how much we owe them in more ways than one.
This is one of our many scouting units, Jack, and we typically have a terrific turnout of Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts and Brownies.
Yes.
This is Scout Troop 31 that was organized back in 1957, and this is part of St. Anthony's
Port Reading.
Catholic Church of Port Reading.
Richard Wiskowski is the scoutmaster, and again, we appreciate all they're doing in spite of the weather.
This is a teen color guard unit, and they've received many awards, including West Point, Gettysburg, Fredericksburg, Washington, D.C., Boston, and Washington Crossing. So we'd like to welcome you. And again, thank you for braving the weather and being able to hang on to those flags.
Easier said than done, Jim, in this weather.
They're followed by the Carteret Volunteer Fire Company, numbers 1 and 2. They were organized way back in 1813, Jack,
Yes.
under the leadership of John Schoen.
Yes.
We'd like to welcome you.
One of our neighboring communities, and one of my old friends, Tom Deverin, the former assemblyman, former mayor. He's also been very active in Irish American affairs.
As you yourself were, Jack,
Yes, yes.
both as a state senator and still to this day.
And I have the ulcers to prove it, Jim.
Well, this I see that gentleman there. He didn't even bother to light his cigar. That was probably a good move, I would
Yes.
say. He's going to have to wait a little later for that.
Indeed.
Jack, you had mentioned this morning about the beautiful ceremony that took place at Town Hall. We had hoped it hadn't started raining. We had
Yes.
hoped it wouldn't start raining. But Mayor McGreevy,
Yes.
who has been also in the tradition of the American Irish and politics, and we know what a almost
Yes.
he
We're almost
so
up.
close
Yes,
to the governor's position.
25,000 votes. It was a heartache.
It was
But he's still, a hero to many. He's still a person who, as a mayor and as a senator, has personified honesty and integrity. And I'm just very proud of him. And as most of the people of Woodbridge are. In the last election, he got 60% of the vote, and he did very well in the governor's election.
well. He certainly has done a terrific job, as far as I'm concerned, here in Woodbridge.
And also great credit to his leadership, with the Woodbridge Council, one and all. They've also been very, very contributed so much, and they work so hard for the township, the Woodbridge Council.
That's right, and we have most, I believe,
Most,
of the
yeah.
members. I know they were there this morning,
Yes.
and I believe they're
Yes, most of them were in the
braving the
parade.
weather. I
Yes.
know that the president of the council, Jimmy Carroll, was here.
Yes.
Vice President Carol Ehrlich, Rick Delina, Kevin Wirtz, Charlie Kenny, Pat Osborne, Brenda Velasco,
And we had our Assemblywoman, Arlene Frisha, and Assemblyman John
John
Wisniewski,
Wisniewski.
that represents Woodbridge and the 19th District. They were also present.
Okay.
They were also in the parade.
I don't know if Bob Luban was there, if he had other commitments, but from the 5th Ward,
Yeah. Brenda Velasco and Carol Ehrlich were there from the 5th Ward.
Yep. I was particularly impressed with, we had 3 speakers this morning in addition to Mayor McGreevy, but the Edmund Lynch, who the national coordinator of the Lawyers Alliance for Justice in Ireland,
Yes.
as well as Robert Menendez, congressman of the 13th District,
Yes.
who this morning
Woodbridge.
sang us a little Irish ditty,
Yes.
did quite well.
No, it turned into a musical, Jim.
It turned into a musical. The only 2 that didn't sing, I think, were you and I.
Yeah, and we can't. But Monsignor Cashman, pastor of St. James Church, who, by the way, is originally from County Cork, he sang. Father Dolan, the Jesuit from St. Peter's College in Jersey City, a friend of the McGreevy's, he sang. And
Let's not
Reedy
forget Tom
DeJoy.
Giblin.
Yes, but Reedy DeJoy, who sings every year and has a beautiful voice, she topped all the musical program.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the theme seemed to be that the importance of, in Northern Ireland, bringing a final piece to that terrible war-torn area. And what Edmund Lynch had at least mentioned, it's important to bring the peace with justice.
Exactly.
We can have peace without justice, but
Things that we take for granted in our own country, things that we assume is, in Northern Ireland, you don't assume that because it isn't true. You can be arrested with no charges. You can be jailed with no charges. So there's so much to be done there, but there's so many people working at it.
and there's one of our beautiful floats put together through the efforts of one of our scout groups. Just checking the line of march here, actually, because sometimes there are some changes, particularly with this kind of weather.
St. Anthony.
This is from St. Andrews in Port Reading.
St. Anthony's in Port Reading.
St. Anthony's in Port Reading. And that's actually quite a turnout for that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
We can tell by their uniforms that they're Cub Scouts,
God love them.
braving this weather.
Here comes our second pipe band. Minstrel boy to the wars of Con.
This would be the pipes and drums, Jack, of the Atlantic Watch.
Hey.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the first year they're joining us, and just on a particularly poignant note, the pipes and drums of the Atlantic Watch are performing today in memory of the 4-year-old Hunter Brown Jr., son of a band treasurer, who passed away recently. And they have decided to march anyway, but it's certainly our hearts go out to the parents of Hunter. What a tragedy.
Yes, indeed.
And for your information, a memorial fund is being set up. And I'm sure
We
that
have on the screen the Union Irish, Union County Irish. They're having their parade next week in Union, New Jersey. They've always been present, always been, committed to the Woodbridge Irish parade, and we appreciate them being with us.
they have been very supportive,
Yes, they
both
have.
of the parade, our dance.
Yes.
They always are a fine-looking senior marching unit.
And
They
they-
always have a beautiful float.
Yes, they do.
The numbers that turn out in supporting our parade here in Woodbridge is certainly much appreciated, particularly on a day like today when the weather isn't the best.
Beautiful float. Flag of Ireland, United States of America.
They have been in the Woodbridge parade many, many, many times. And Jack, as you mentioned, their
Yeah.
parade is will be next week.
Yes. Kathy Noonan, one of their chairmen from Linden.
And as usual, a terrific turnout from
Yes,
the Union
yes.
County Irish.
Very.
And we look forward, the American Irish Association of Woodbridge, to supporting you and marching in your parade.
Here comes.
This is Officer Bill Dank, who's marching on behalf of the Patrolmen's Benevolent Associations in Woodbridge.
After being involved.
Here's the Emerald Society, police and firemen from Union County, New Jersey. My brother Frank, who's a retired police lieutenant from Elizabeth. This is his group.
And that's a senior marching unit, right, Jack?
Yes.
And is your brother marching there today?
No, he isn't. Yeah, I think he's marching next week in Union County.
I remember that.
Had a good turnout for the weather.
Not too bad, Jack.
John Casey is their president.
Just a little background about the American Irish Association of Woodbridge, Jack, that puts this parade on. It was formed back on July 4th in 1996 by two township residents, Mike McGovern,
Yes.
a former officer and director who is deceased,
God have mercy on him. Yes.
and his son, Michael McGovern, is very active now, a former parade chairman, and his other children I know are marshaling in today's parade, and Joe Jackson, another resident of the Island section of the township.
Joe Jackson, he lives down the shore now.
That's right.
And
That's right.
good friend, too.
And basically, they were sitting together and talking, and that's how the American Irish Association of Woodbridge Township got founded.
Yes.
And its purposes are to endeavor to unite the Irish and Irish Americans of Woodbridge and surrounding areas, promote Irish culture and preserve its tradition and heritage, hold high the name, goal, and reputation of the Irish and Irish Americans, and respectfully commemorate every St. Patrick's Day. And that's
They
what we're
which they have.
looking to do here today.
Elizabeth Fire Department truck just went by. That's my father, John Logan Fay, was a captain of the Elizabeth Fire Department. They got a mercy on him.
So you're originally from Elizabeth,
From
Jack?
Elizabeth, yes.
Okay.
St. Patrick's Parish in Elizabeth.
And that it would be.
It's funny, at least people my age, like, where are you from? You always tell them you're from a parish, I'm from St. Patrick's. I'm from St. Mary's. Like,
And that would be a typically Irish
yes, it
tradition,
would.
wouldn't
Yes, it would. What parish are you from? The Avenel fire trucks going by. The Avenel Fire and the Avenel Colonia First Aid Squad, who all year long perform so well for so many.
I'm always impressed, Jack, at the number of turnout for the volunteers, the
Yes.
fire companies, the first aid squads, all the support that the parents and the scoutmasters give to the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts. And I mean, it's one of the terrific parts about our parade. And the
Yes.
Christmas parade, for example, is that we really get a chance to see the community spirit
Right.
and all of these volunteers that make this township work.
True, Jim.
Help make
True.
this township
Yes, this is
work.
what true. You know, the real heart and soul of the community are in the volunteers.
And I know with Mayor McGreevy, that's always been a big theme of his,
Yes,
the
it has.
volunteerism, the service to the community.
Right.
He's tried to encourage that with his town meetings and
Yep.
his mayor's advisory committee to try to bring as many people into the process as possible. And it's nice to see everybody turn out.
Another ROTC group. Roe High School.
This would be the U.S. Marine Corps Junior ROTC, Jack, and
Yes.
a fine marching unit they are.
It is.
Very synchronized.
Yep.
And again, I believe they've supported us for many, many years.
Have.
In
They-
television screen right now is the Therapet Inc. And that's an outfit that really does quite a bit of good in the community. They're a nonprofit volunteer group.
Gail Regan's their
Gail
president.
Regan is the president. And what they do is they train various pets to visit at nursing homes and hospitals.
Yes.
The idea being that with some of our elderly and
Yeah.
people that are kind of shut-ins, that's just a positive thing. And Jack, I know that you were ombudsman on behalf of the elderly. And
My last job in Trenton was ombudsman for the elderly in nursing homes and boarding homes, and I can testify that this does make a difference. This
Right.
does make a difference of, someone to love, someone to hold, someone to pet. It's a real, no great scientific result, but the actual reality of how much good they've done, and these people to be commended for offering this kind of a service.
so you know kind of firsthand how
I know.
important that volunteer work is.
Exactly.
We have another one of our pipe bands. I believe we have 5 or 6 here today, Jack. And if I'm not mistaken, this should be the Rockland Scottish Pipes and Drums. But again, there may be some change in the lineup. And if there was, we apologize. We're hoping to see a banner here, actually.
Fine sounding, fine marching band.
Beautiful marching unit.
They are.
And the turnout is incredible. I'd have to say, Jack, that there's about, I don't know, would you say about 50, 60 members of that particular unit, or am I off on that? This is the
At least
Atlantic
50.
Watch.
Yes.
I just
that's
saw
the
this is
Atlantic
the Atlantic Watch.
that's
This is the
Atlantic
group
Watch.
that is marching in memory of Hunter Brown. Our condolences to the parents of Hunter Brown, and welcome to the parade.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Apparently, a memorial fund is being set up, and you can contact members of the Atlantic Watch to find out more about that. They're located in Red Bank, New Jersey. Well, that's a sight that we usually don't like to see, Jack. The parade being
No.
disrupted,
No.
and a first aid unit and a police unit
Yes.
leaving, and we're just hopeful that nobody
Yes.
had gotten seriously hurt. Here's the Tri-Town Service Unit of the Girl Scouts.
Brownie Scout. Troop 906. God love yous. Admire their courage.
I certainly do, with their shamrocks and green derbies. And it looks as like the number of parent volunteers equals the number of
Yes.
children that are marching.
As it should be.
We have
Brownie Scout 203.
number 203 has joined us as well, and we welcome you, brave souls.
Bundled up. Take it in stride.
And we can see by the movement of those umbrellas that in addition to the soft rain, we've got a little soft wind.
Yes. Yeah, the wind is picking
Now
up.
there's a clever young man.
Yes, indeed.
And it certainly doesn't seem to have dampened anybody's spirits,
Not
has
at
it,
all.
Jack?
Not at all.
The tricolors, the flag of Ireland,
School project. Or a brownie project, anyway. Here comes-
and now we've got the Colonia High School Marching Patriots, one of the other 3 high schools in the
Second
township, Jack.
grade, Yes. They're here every year too, both at the Christmas parade and the St. Patrick's Day parade. And they also, excel. Laura Novell is director, Pat Anderson, the color guard advisor.
They have appeared in 1997 Music in the Parks Festival in Williamsburg, Virginia. One outstanding drum major, outstanding marching unit, outstanding color guard.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you. And welcome to the parade. There's another smart mom and her little one inside and warm.
Yes. Colonia Fire Department. Here comes one of the old
It's a
relics, one of the Colonia Fire Department, accompanied by their Dalmatian.
I would imagine that was a kind that your father
Yes, I remember.
was driven around in,
I
Jack.
remember
Is
Well, I remember his Dalmatian too. Just all the Colonia fire equipment here, fire rescue,
and
Hook and Ladder Company,
yeah,
Colonia.
the newer units are a far cry from those
Yes,
old,
they are.
And the mayor.
and a good turnout for the
Yes.
Colonia Fire
Yes, it was.
Department. A little bit about our Grand Marshal, Buddy Costello. Jackie traces his Irish roots back to Clonmel, County Tipperary
Yes.
in Ireland, where his great-grandfather was baptized. And again,
Yes.
everything Irish goes back to the parish,
Yes, it does.
to in St. Mary's Church there in County Tipperary
Yes.
back in 1824. Buddy was born in Perth Amboy. He's president of Costello Family Funeral Homes. He's a longtime member of the American Irish Association of Woodbridge, the Ancient Order of Hibernians in Perth Amboy, and the Middlesex County chapter of the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick.
He's a very good man. A very
Very good man, very
very
decent
good friend
man.
to all. especially the Irish organizations.
And we should be hearing from him, I would imagine, shortly. And his
The Hope Lawn Group.
the Irish Person of the Year, Lynn Kilberry, again, has been very active
Lovely lady.
for
Lovely.
years and years in the American Irish Association of Woodbridge, as well as her husband, Frank,
Yes.
who was the parade chairman,
Yes.
a former Grand Marshal.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to go to Charlie Shaughnessy right now, who's standing out in this Irish mist with Mayor McGreevy.
With me is
To you,
our
Charlie.
good mayor, James E. McGreevy. With me is our good mayor, James E. McGreevy. Jim, what does being Irish mean to you?
Well, today we have good Irish weather, Charlie, and we're blessed to have, again, the Woodbridge Township Irish American Association sponsoring. But today is an opportunity to celebrate our faith, celebrate the contributions of the Irish American community, as well as remember those who are still back in Ireland. And again, whether it's the McBride principles of protecting the rights of Irish Catholics in the north of Ireland, or remembering the Great Famine and how many Irish are brought to our adopted homeland of America. It's important that we remember our heritage, but particularly we're mindful of the need for human rights in the north of Ireland, and that Irish Americans do their best to ensure that peace and justice is brought to our troubled homeland.
And as you know, the mayor sponsors some of these bills also, right?
Yes.
McBride.
This is proud sponsor of the McBride principles with Congressman Bob Menendez, as well as the teaching of the famine and the teaching of the Holocaust. And I think it's important that our children know of what brought us to this country. And this is a great day. Usually we have sunny weather, but this is good Irish weather. And 3 generations ago, the McGreevies were pulling out potatoes in this weather. So 3 generations later, we're still walking.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Back to the truck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mayor McGreevy and Charlie Shaughnessy.
Pipe band passing now from Brooklyn, New York, and they're leading the Knights of Columbus.
And that is the Knights of Columbus Pipes and Drum marching unit.
We've crossed the border.
And they are preceding all of the Knights of Columbus here in Woodbridge Township. And there are quite a few chapters that are represented with this particular group, Jack.
Yes.
We have the group from Woodbridge proper.
This is, one of the leading lay Catholic men's organization is do a lot of charity work, a lot
Absolutely.
of social work. They
I
do
s-
an awful lot of good, day in and day out through the year.
I see the Knights of Columbus from Island, the Island chapter, St. Cecilia's.
Yes.
The Colonia chapter is represented. I see Jim Winship.
I know. Besides Jim Winship, Kevin McCabe, John McCormick, just the chief financial officer in our township, are active members.
At the St. Cecilia's KFC. They're very active. I'm a member, not as active.
Charlie Shaughnessy is very active in the Knights of
Colonia.
Columbus in Colonia.
That's right. And there's Cub Scout Brownie Troop number 989.
Yes.
Wishing us all a happy St. Patrick's Day with their beautiful white and
Decked
Kelly
out.
green
Yes.
banner.
Very attractive.
And again, this weather doesn't seem to be dampening their spirits in the least, does it?
Not at all. I'm
The
proud of them.
smiling faces on the sky. In fact, they look like they're enjoying
Lots
themselves.
to be proud of. Troop 189.
The name of their leader is Jerry Garabrandt and Diana
Chew.
Chu. And we welcome you, brave souls.
There comes the
Here's the.
to Charlie with the mayor of Randall.
okay.
Okay, Charlie, to you.
With me is Mary Ann Connolly, the mayor of Fanwood, and she traces her roots to Roscommon. And this is the first time Mary Ann's been to our parade. Would you like to make a comment about it?
Oh, this is a fabulous parade. I used to march in the Newark Parade when I was growing up, and this is a great opportunity to express my strong belief that I have to maintain the heritage of Ireland and help the people remember where we came from, where our roots are.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Back to the truck where it's warm. Jack and Jim.
Okay. Thank you, Charlie and Mayor. And behind Charlie Shaughnessy at that point
Elks Scout Group
was another scout group
going by.
from Woodbridge Township.
Woodbridge Elks is another part of the panorama that covers all of Woodbridge Township. Besides, there are many charities sponsoring the Cub Scout group, one of their better ones.
And in the car that just passed out of view was Jacqueline Hogerby, Miss Petite Town of New Jersey, whose grandmother, Marcella Hogerby, is a very proud member of the American Irish Association. With her was Stephanie Rizzolo, the current Miss Preteen Princess Talent in New Jersey, and she goes to Colonia Middle School.
Great.
We have
Congratulations.
Congratulations to both of you.
Here comes fire. It's the Island Fire.
This should be the Island Fire Company, District Number 9 from Island, New Jersey, under Dan Cunningham, its chief. Now that's got an Irish ring to
Yes,
it, Cunningham,
it does.
I'd say, Jack.
Does it? Indeed.
And all the uniforms decked out with green
Great turnout.
carnations and
Great turnout.
terrific turnout.
Great body of men and women in the first aid squad.
And all the fire trucks and emergency vehicles appropriately decked out with green shamrocks.
The Island.
Okay, we're going to go to Charlie Shaughnessy in the street with our Grand Marshal Buddy Costello and the Irish Person of the Year, Lynn Kilmurray. Charlie?
Here with me is Lynn Kilmurray, Irish Person of the Year, and Bud Costello, the Grand Marshal this year. And Lynn, what do you think of today's parade?
Well, it's not a soft parade at all, Charlie, but it's okay. It's a wonderful parade, and I'm so proud to be Irish Person of the Year. I'm very proud of my community and my mayor and my husband and my children and everybody. And I thank you all.
So it didn't dampen our spirits today. And Joseph Buddy Costello, how does it feel to be the Grand Marshal?
It's the greatest thing in the world to me today. Going down there, I felt like I was floating down the street, not in the rain, but just floating with joy with my two grandsons next to me. It's a great parade, a great community, great country. Glad to be Irish in this country.
Very good. Okay, now we'll go back to the truck where Jack and Jim are in there warm.
That's right. Charlie, we are in here warm, and I had given you that umbrella that you're not using, so shame on you. Open the umbrella. This should be the Sharpshooters brass band that's currently in your view. They're a brass marching band, braving the weather. He is the band director,
Alex
Jack.
Daisy, the band director, and Joe Gondor.
He's the manager.
Yes.
Thank you for straightening that out.
It comes, sound very good.
And again, the weather just doesn't seem to dampen the
Not at
horns
all,
or the drums or
Not a note, not a step.
the spirits.
Yes, Northern New Jersey. Here's the DARE group, the anti-drug group from the Woodbridge Police Department.
And boy, they do a lot of good work.
Yes, they do.
A lot of terrific work, Jack. Both my sons went through the Colonia school system. One's in high school now, and at the middle school, Rich Wazakowski, I know, is active
Yes.
with it, who was marching with a Boy Scout troop, and they do a terrific job.
It's good to see all the schools
Absolutely.
represented. Not only do you do a good job, there's a good job to be done.
Very important in today's day and age.
Most important.
Nothing worse than drugs to derail a very talented kid, Jack.
Indeed. And the time to educate, the time to get to them is in the lower grades, the middle schools, and even the high schools. But
so our hats off to the DARE program and to all the people who support it, who actively work it. On behalf of really everybody in the township here, our thanks to you.
Exactly. Claremont Avenue School.
And this is quite a turnout on the schools in the DARE program, Jack.
Yes, it is. It's like a preschooler that.
And no dampening of the spirits here whatsoever.
Not at all. So happy for them.
Ross Street School.
Involved. And it's a credit to their teachers, to the principals, to everybody involved in the
parents
system, and especially their parents. Without their parents, that's where it starts.
Now, I think one thing that you and I have both noticed this year, Jack, is that with the weather, we don't seem to have the same number of pauses in the parade.
No, there aren't.
That we've seen in years past.
Very well. Not that I would recommend it every year, Jim, but
No.
whatever it takes. The Woodbridge River Watch. This is an environmental group. Again, Charlie Shaughnessy is very active with the River Watch. I know Sharon McCreevy, Jim's sister, is very active with this group.
And there are another nonprofit volunteer group that
Yes.
addresses some real important issues here in town. Woodbridge is a crowded community,
Yes,
and
it
we
is
need to
very.
take some care of the environment.
Ever alert. And this group, from the beginning to the present, is doing a very good job at it, too.
And they are the float from the River Watch, are keepers of the stream. It's another one of our pipe units, Jack. I believe this should be number 4,
Yeah.
the Barnegat Bay Pipe Band.
Yes. They've come away. Jim McKenna, pipe major.
The kilt is a Nova Scotia tartan.
Okay. Formed in 1997.
They received some special awards for supporting Lyme Disease Association of New Jersey.
The Irish Fish, Scottish Games.
We'd like to welcome all of you.
Good to have you from the shore.
And as you said, Jack, they travel quite a way to get
They
here.
have. Jersey Shore's taken a beating this year, too, with the storms. But, here comes the Brunswick Shamrock Club.
Under the leadership of Willie Donovan and Joe Kelly,
Yes.
both of whom have been former Grand Marshals,
Yes.
I believe. I know Willie was, and I believe Joe Kelly was.
They got the
Yes, he was.
first prize in the 1985 Woodbridge Parade, second in 1988, the second in the Woodbridge Parade of 1990.
And Willie Donovan was our Grand Marshal in 1997, and Joe Kelly back in 1985. Beautiful outfits in the Brunswick Shamrock Club.
Yes.
You make the Irish proud.
Yes, they do. They're great supporters, too.
Very much, Jack.
They
Every year, year in, year
Always sum
out.
up in number.
Year in and year out. We appreciate your support, particularly on our rainy St. Patrick's Day parade here. Lynn Kilmurray had mentioned this wasn't a soft rain. I think it is, though, Jack. From when I was back in Ireland 2 years ago, this is the kind of rain I remember. That's the Woodbridge Emergency Squad. That's currently in your TV screen. And the kids particularly like the emergency squad and the fire departments, because usually they're throwing some kind of candy.
Yes. Here they should be throwing umbrellas, but well,
For the kids, candy will do.
Yes. And they're still handing them out. Woodbridge Emergency Squad.
Another one of the volunteer groups who help keep our community safe.
Yes. Like I said, they're, without ever saying it or knowing it, they're true heroes. And
And there's the Bears Bucket Brigade, the antique Han fire engine, Jack. They've been out in our parade for a number of years now.
Jerry Selleck of South Amboy, one of their officers.
And ordinarily, they would have a dancing bear walking along with the truck, but I think the bear took the prudent route today.
Probably went down with a flu.
Here's another novelty group, the Woodbridge Corvette Club, and another supporter of our parade over the years. And all the many, many different styles, the years, colors of Corvettes. To some people, the penultimate American car, Jack.
Yes.
Sports car, anyway.
Bob Skopek of Edison was one of their leaders.
And a fine turnout from the Corvette Club. And while they're moving by, here's a happy lass tucked away warm in one of those Corvettes. Putting him on. Hey. 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 We have some pause here. Some of the other officials that had turned out earlier, and I'm sure are up at the reviewing stand, Jack, or
Yes.
our Assemblywoman, Marlene Frisha, our Assembly man, John Wisniewski.
Yes.
I
Tom
didn't-
Hamilton and George Aston's there from the club. Mark Lewis, who is the director of the whole parade. Jim Carroll, the council president. Jim is from Ford.
We have another one of our band marching units here coming into view, Jack.
Yeah.
And let's listen in.
And the Colonial. '59.
And they are from Morristown, New Jersey, Jack. They've come a bit of a distance
Yes,
to
they
join
have.
us here.
They have. An ROTC unit.
It's another one of our school teen ROTC units.
Yes.
This should be the Perth Amboy High School, New Jersey ROTC unit, Teen
Yeah,
Color,
excellent.
Teen Drill, and Teen March.
Yeah, an excellent group. Excellent.
Some-
Year after year, I say that.
Some real precision marching there, Jack.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they do Perth Amboy, Mayor Voss, Board of Education there, they do them honor. Okay, here's a
We have a novelty,
Yes.
looks like a go-kart unit
it is.
that's in view there. Well, it might be easy.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to go now to Charlie Shaughnessy, who's on the street with Council President Jimmy Carroll. Charlie?
With me is Jim Carroll, the president of the Woodbridge Council. And Jim, where do you trace your roots from?
Well, besides Jersey City, my family's originally from both County Mayo and County Cork.
And what do you think of today's parade?
I think it's wonderful. I mean, we're having a little liquid sunshine here today, but other than that, it's a grand day. It's a terrific day for Woodbridge, for the Irish Americans of Woodbridge, and for everyone from all nationalities that are out today. It's just a really fine day, and people just, I think, appreciate the fact that everyone is out here marching, and the people that are along the sidelines encourages it, even though the weather hasn't been really cooperative. But it's just a real good day for Woodbridge.
And did you think this morning this would come off with all the rain?
No, actually, I thought it was going to hold off this morning. We had a great ceremony this morning with the raising of the Irish flag, and when I come out, it wasn't raining, and I thought it would hold off for us. But, sometimes these things happen, but it still makes it a great day.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Now we'll go back to the truck.
Okay, thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Jim. And here's our novelty 4-H, Somerset County 4-H Go-Kart Club. Those busy little guys buzzing all over the street.
Anne Marie Izzo of Somerville, in charge of this group.
If I'm not mistaken, Jack, I think they're a first-timer for our parade. At least I don't recall the go-karts in years past. How about you?
I think we would have remembered them. Jim.
I think we would have remembered them.
They're,
And I hope,
doing a good job. Interesting.
as an attorney, I hope we got some liability insurance here.
I told you, Jim.
I'm surprised how fast they can move.
Pass your cards out if they don't buy them.
But they certainly look like they're having quite a bit of fun.
They are.
And while we have a little pause here, lest I be remiss, I'll perhaps mention some of the other people in the American Irish Association. The board of directors is Justin McCarthy, who's up at the reviewing stand.
Yes.
Jack, he's done that year after
Yes, he
year.
has, and done a magnificent job each and every year.
His wife, just not last year, but about a year and a half ago, I believe now, had passed away, Mary Ellen, who was very active.
Yes.
And Justin, with his very large family of many children who help him up at the reviewing stand. Charlie Shaughnessy out on the street as a director, Pat Burns, Joe Fennelly, Ken Stiles, who's been
Yes.
very active
Yes,
as
he has.
president,
Yes, Ken.
parade chairman,
Yes.
and really
He's always there, Ken.
is a driving force at this point with his brother-in-law George, his sister-in-law Mary, with Mark Lewis to put this parade on the street. I'm a director as well. This would be New Jersey United Abate Motorcycle Club, and that's another group that year after year has ridden in our parades, Jack.
Yeah, they're mostly committed to the safety, the safeguards and rights of freedoms of those who ride motorcycles.
Right. I guess, many people associate kind of, the big Harley and some of the gangs. But really with the motorcycles, you have groups like the Blue Knights, the police group, and very very responsible
Yes, they are.
group of people, very helpful out there on the road.
Here comes the John Basilone Detachment of the Marine Corps League.
And again, this is a senior color guard marching unit.
Mel Nazaros is one of the directors from Parlin, New Jersey.
And George Coyle is the commander of this particular unit.
And the honor of one of the Congressional Medal of winners from New Jersey, Sergeant Basilone. Was in World War II.
We have another one of our color guard units,
Led by the Color Guard of the Marine Corps.
I think you would be right on that. And in the screen right now is a pipe band. Which I believe are the Richmond County Pipes and Drums.
Yes, from Staten Island.
From Staten Island, New Jersey, and they've supported us for many, many years again.
Here's the Woodbridge proper fire department. They have a great turnout.
Year after year with the green gloves and the green carnations, it is a good turnout.
Yes, it is.
And all of the fire equipment appropriately decked out in green shamrocks and green carnations.
Very good looking group of men.
And we welcome you and thank you for your support.
Right. John Basilone.
You know, Jack, in addition to the parade, the American Irish Association puts on a dance every year. We've done it in conjunction the past couple of years with the Knights of Columbus over in Island.
Yes.
And this was our 32nd annual dance, believe it or not.
Yes.
Have a terrific time, plenty of Irish dancing. It's a corned beef, the whole 9 yards. You can't beat it.
It's a pleasure just to listen to the music.
It certainly is.
Pleasure just to listen to the music, besides the good time and besides the corned beef.
We've had the Mike Sheehan Show Band for a number of years, and excellent
band.
Excellent. Yeah. And despite my last name, Durek, which is Slovak, my mom's name was Owens, as you know, Jack.
Yes, I do.
And my dad's family was from the Midwest, so I really didn't get to know him. I grew up Irish.
Yes.
Annie Owens from Newark, and her 9 children, and that's all I knew.
You didn't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. My dad was outnumbered in a big way.
Another pipe band.
And this should be, if the line of march is still correct, Jack, the Ocean County Emerald Society Pipes and Drums.
What I appreciate is pipe bands coming from all over, showing we're not parochial, we're not narrow. We're all over the state of New Jersey, especially the East Coast, but the Midwest. San Francisco has a great parade, but one and all, we're Americans.
We're Americans, and the Irish Americans are particularly proud not only of their Irish tradition, but of coming here to America. And I think this was mentioned this morning, Jack, the tyranny, the repression.
Yes.
And so to become involved in politics
to this day,
was the way to go.
Yes,
it was a way of celebrating freedom.
Here's a Cub Scout from Ford's.
The Brownie Troop.
Yep.
Number 953, affiliated with the Woodbridge Elks. Number 2116, another volunteer group and very active group here in Woodbridge. They are followed by Valerie's Golden Strutters. Again, this another group that has supported us year after year.
Yes, they have.
A baton twirling group from Edison, New Jersey, one of Woodbridge neighboring towns. And year after year, that's a fine looking unit.
Yes, it is.
Jack, as long as I've been doing this with Channel 35 with you, I can
Yes.
remember Valerie Strutter's.
Yes.
Oh. What would a parade be without McNamara's band? It wouldn't be a St. Patrick's Day parade. Da-da-da-dee-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You got to know the lyrics here, Jack. Okay, we're going to go to Charlie Shaughnessy again with President of the American Irish, George Aston, and the chairman of this year's parade, Mark Lewis. Charlie?
With me is George Aston on my left and Mark Lewis on my right. George is the president of the American Irish Association. And George, tell us the purpose of the...
Okay, we're going to pick it up. Apparently, we had to cut Charlie short for some reason. Okay, we're having some quality control problems. I'm sure it has something to do with the god-awful weather.
It's the first one.
At Channel 35, while we have a moment here, we want to thank all of you because although it can't be seen in the screen, they're out there with the cameras trying to keep tarps over them, over the sound equipment to help us put this parade on the streets. So Lee Beckerman, Joanne Bullo, all of you, thanks very much. We'll take this opportunity.
The Perth Amboy fire chief just went by.
And this is the Perth Amboy Fire Department.
Yes.
Another neighboring town here in Woodbridge, Jack.
Yes.
We appreciate your support.
Yeah.
Well, we go through this every year. Woodbridge Township has, 9 sections to it, Jack? We have Woodbridge proper.
Right.
Colonia. Island.
Avenel. Hope Lawn. Caseby.
Fort Reading.
Port Ready, yeah.
Fords. Island.
Yeah.
We got it covered?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
And if we didn't cover anybody, Jack, I'm sure you're going to hear about it. I probably won't. I know how to avoid those kind of things.
I can't wait for the first phone call. Here's the Middlesex County Waste Emergency Management.
That is the Mobile Communication Center that has just gone by our screen. And although, because of our technical difficulties, we didn't have an opportunity to hear from the president of the club, George Aston, or the chairman, Mark Lewis.
Yes.
And from Jack's vantage point, mine, I have to tell you that despite the rain, it's quite a good-looking parade. It's
very good, George. Very good, Jim.
I think we had about 100, if not more, marching units, 5 or 6 pipe bands, and what would an Irish parade be without them?
With the weather, it was an excellent parade.
Excellent parade. So our hats off to you.
To Mark, and to George. Well done.
Parade committee.
Yes, right. Everybody involved.
All who worked so hard. The co-chair, Diane McGovern. We'd like to thank Mayor McGreevy and the town council and the Woodbridge Police Department. Without the support of the town, it would be impossible.
Right.
The funding is raised by the club.
It's a very expensive parade.
Very expensive.
And each year it becomes more expensive. And each year we reach out for contributions, and we reach individually, collectively. I know it's
so. To all of you who have supported our ad book, in particular, who have taken out ads, who have supported our dance, our various fundraising activities, raffles, and the 2020. Thank you, because without your support, this parade just wouldn't happen, no matter how hard.
Another section of town being represented now. The Fords Fire Company and First Aid Squads are going by. The first group that's been using their siren.
That's right, Jack. I mean, some years you and I have had some trouble hearing each other up here in the truck. I know they're really limited when they get down by the
Yeah,
reviewing
right.
stand. They've got to tone it down, or otherwise, believe it or not, they're
Fort Reading Fire
disqualified.
Department going by. Okay.
Okay. To all the members of the American Irish Association, as we kind of see the end of the parade here, particularly the group that brings up the very end of the parade are the marshals,
Yes,
Jack. We don't
yes.
see them now.
I know, but they're
They're
major part
part
of this parade.
They work very, very hard on getting the units out in order. They bring up the rear of the parade. I know the McGoverns are involved. Mary Alice Jacko is involved. I don't want to be remiss. Charlie Shaughnessy's daughter Maureen, I think his son Brian is back there. I'm sure some of the Kilmurrays are back there. To the Journal Committee, Mary Alice Jacko and George Aston, Ken Stiles, Mark Lewis, Pat Burns, all the standing committees with the club. It's a terrific looking parade. Jack?
Jim, it was wonderful being
Charlie?
with you again.
Same here.
25.
Thank you, Channel 35. And hopefully next year we'll have even a softer rain.
Yeah, we're looking forward to next year. It was a wonderful parade in spite of the weather. 25 more to go. Thank you.
See you next year.
Everybody wave at the camera. Yeah. All right, guys. Woo!